with Puggie. That was my name when I was born. I was called Puggie, and the reason I'm going here is because I think adversity breeds a certain state of mind that you carry with you through your whole life. By the way, this is Zen, the puppy dog. She has her own Facebook. She was going to get introduced at some point, so she's comfortable here. Not resolving the video screen at all, I don't think, or the LCD screen, but she is a unique animal. Getting back to Puggie. So, born with Puggie from birth, you tend to be subject to all kinds of stuff that are related to the word Puggie. As in fat, chubby, bearish, or especially since I had a lot of hair. And speaking of my hair, this is my hair this is a morning woody hair. It's just the way it is. I don't do anything, and this is what my hair says. My hair says, you're not the boss of me. I mean, my hair probably says, I'm on top of the brain, so who do you think really is the power? It's your hair. And bald guys, no negative puns intended. But anyways, getting back to Puggie, and adversity breeds an environment which follows you through the rest of your life. Not only was I a fat baby, but I had a big butt. So Puggie led to all kind of butt stuff. And unfortunately, I had a big butt before it was cool. And I wasn't a girl. Otherwise, I'd probably have been paid like billions of dollars in rap money just to dance. But I'd have to have been a girl. But I'd have brought the butt. But the chances are then that I would have been born Caucasian or Chinese. And I'm not being racist or stereotyping, but they tend to have much smaller butts than, for example, those that originated on the African continent. That was not a Trumpism, by the way. But getting back to Puggie, I was definitely lampooned from an early age. Puggie Wudgie was a bear, and Puggie Wudgie had lots of hair and stuff. So I think what that does is it breeds you to be defensive. And the reason I'm telling you all this is because I'm learning really fast based on experiences are happening in the recent couple of days that this is a place I really have to leave behind to be a functional part of the society. And what I'm talking about is I started a project called Be Nicer. It's simply that, Be Nicer. The core website is going to be at benicer.net, and the Facebook is Be Nicer Today, and the hashtag at Twitter is at Be Nicer Today, just like it's spelled, BENICER today. The other domain was hat, as has been taken, Be Nicer. Zen, no necking in public. Why don't you just lay your head down? I should do a flat dog or something. Yes. It's like, yeah, whatever. I'm already flat as I can get. Anyways, back to Be Nicer. It's a really simple principle, and I think it is our nature to be nicer. But nature is not what we're surrounded by, really. Most of us, and even those of us that are living deep off the grids, are subject to the environment around us digitally. So it's not like you can go bury yourself on the back side of a mountain unless you cut yourself off from society. But then I think your imagination is spoiled to what's happening everywhere else. But for most of us, we're digitally jacked right into an environment that is anything but natural, that stresses us out, and that makes us less nice. So I think we really don't have to teach being nice, we just have to get the impressions out there. Be nicer. Be nicer. And one way to do it is come like Be Nicer Today on Facebook and get the hashtag and just spread the art. And if you have some art, bring some art to the site. And we're just learning how to use the group on this kind of a level. I have used pages for some time, but I'm having to learn new tricks on this page. So bear with us. We're growing. I mean, there's about 5 admins and managers, but there's 167 at the last count. Basically, that's a day's worth of members, of people who signed up and say, hey, Be Nicer is a pretty simple concept that I can agree with. And by all accounts, if you read newspapers and see digital media, we don't agree on anything in like any bulk way. And this is a bulk way. I don't think anybody could fundamentally disagree with just Be Nicer. And just imagine, Be Nicer as a seed for paying it forward. And that's where this really becomes a circular, positive push for the world. And it starts in our communities, because the first thing you're going to go to is your friends, your favorite group, and say, listen, I just want you to think about be nicer. And if you think about it, come over here and like it and share it. We'll find good ways to be able to distribute the message via social media, and maybe one day a nonprofit can be managing acquiring billboard space that just say be nicer all over the place. We have a lot of these icon signs that say things, and one person said to me, well, in Texas they say drive friendly. Well, how about be nicer? And then finally, there is an educational component to this that I think has to be well thought out, but it's can't hurt. And I really like to see things more positively, as that like it can help as opposed to the glass half empty. And that is educating children. And that basically is instilling in them a nice environment. Man, almost like a refuge. The class, imagine the class being 30 minutes of just super nice, and then having them talk about nice things. And I think kids learning from other kids will teach a much faster than adults trying to say, hey, you've got to be nice. And the other thing is the nice part will be like a just refuge. I mean, make it nice. What do kids like? That's a healthy snack. They can come in the room for 30 minutes and share what they have done to be nice. Because you got to be good. It's got to be good to share what you did nice as well. So be nicer. BeNicer.net. And then, hey, this is what I wanted to finish with. We adults would definitely learn from the kids. Because, what is social media about? Cute kids. Well, kids doing nice things can't be there can't be anything cuter than that. But it's a real thing, because this is the future of the world. Imagine we could be building some energy that could change the future of the world. All we have to do is persist at spreading a message that it's time for everybody to be nicer. Thanks. Wow, did this in under 10 minutes.